My only concern was his health. He's fine. That's fine. So I won't talk to him again.
That's just
Yeah. So
absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to group coaching. Today, we are very pleased we have a guest speaker with us today. And this is a very special gentleman for several reasons. One, he is the assistant team leader in the Sandy
Atlanta.
Springs office. Thank you. First Atlanta, Sandy Springs office. He also is a real estate agent and has been for many years. He's also in my upline. So Clarke makes money on me every month. And that's a good thing. And we're here to learn more about that. So Clarke is very passionate about profit share and making money while you sleep. And let's see, the 21st is rolling around, and that's my favorite day of the month because when I wake up in the morning, I open up my account and there's free money that just shows up. So Clarke is here to talk to us more about that process and understanding more about profit share. So I'll ask you all to please mute yourself. Unless you need to ask a question, you can either put it in the chat or you are welcome to unmute yourself and ask the question. We want this to be interactive. Also, please, we want to see your faces. It makes it so much easier to talk to when we see faces. So please, I don't care what you look like, doesn't matter. I don't care if you've got bedhead. See, I'm sharing my beautiful, I'm going to screen a porch. So I'm sharing my porch with you today. It's a beautiful day. So thank you for seeing your smiling faces. So Clarke, please take her away.
Thank you so much, Julianne. You guys, I'm so pleased to be with you, and I really have so much affection for the East Cobb office. I actually live in East Cobb. And a little bit about me is I have been in real estate for going on 16 and a half years. I was born at Piedmont Hospital, so I'm an Atlanta native. And I was an individual agent that ran a successful just business, doing my own, doing exactly what you guys are doing, which is building a pipeline, lead generating, growing your contact database, converting contacts into clients into contracts, and contracts into closings. So I did that for the better part of 14 years. And then for the last 4 years as an agent, I actually built a small team of three full-time agents, including myself, one full-time assistant. And when I stepped out of the business to get into leadership, we were on track to do $24 million that year. So I feel like I have earned the right to really kind of share the ups and the downs and really be able to identify with where you are. So that's a little bit about me. And Julianne, if it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
You have capability. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And y'all, today we're here to talk about profit share, okay? And this is going to be an interactive class. And so here's the thing. I'm just going to be straight up real with you guys. When I interviewed with the team leader at the Keller Williams office where I started my career, which was in the Rawls Group. Actually, it wasn't in the Rawls Group at the time, but it is now. The then team leader basically said, here's how we're going to get your career kick-started. And then she got to the end of our time together and she started telling me about profit share. And I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I was nodding and smiling, right? Like we do in the South, right? Because we don't want to offend anybody. Was nodding and smiling, but in my mind, I was thinking to myself, lady, I'm here to sell homes. I don't know what you're talking about profit share, but I'm just, it's real estate. Okay, just let me go, cut me loose. Let me go sell a couple of homes. Well, about 2 years into it, I'm not sure exactly what happened with my mindset, but I introduced a friend of mine and this is what's interesting about this was I was in the Buckhead office, and I introduced a friend of mine from church who was at a small boutique real estate company to the team leader at First Atlanta, who was then Steve Kelt. Well, this person, it was just an introduction. They met, she joined Keller Williams First Atlanta while I was still at the other Keller Williams office. And then on the 21st one day, I got it was probably like $23 or something, right? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Money just appeared in my account. Interesting, right? Things that make you go, So then a couple months later, I got like another amount. So I started paying attention to it. And for the next, I would say 2 to 3 years, I had sponsored about 6 productive agents. And one of those individuals is near and dear to our hearts that I'm going to share a story with you at some point, how she joined. But she was one of those 6. And it was for the next 2 to 3 years with just 6 productive agents, I earned between $12,000 to $13,000 a year in passive income. Last year, in 2019, I earned just shy of 20,000. It was like 19,700 and something. So that's kind of my story. So let's talk, and I want y'all's feedback, but let me just share with you what our plan is for today. So if you can see my screen, this shows you what we're going to cover. And we're going to talk about what is profit share. We're going to cover how it works. We're going to develop a purposeful plan for your passive income. We're going to show you how a profit share tree grows. And we're going to create a plan for you to build passive income. How does that sound? Woohoo! Perfect. All right. And here's the thing, y'all, we brush shoulders with real estate agents every day that need an exit strategy out of their business. And the truth of the matter is most, I would say 90% of all other real estate companies do not provide an exit strategy for agents to get out of their business. So this is just one. So let's talk about what it is. And I'm on my wife's laptop, y'all. I get all kinds of strange reminders that I'm not sure what they're about. But you could be curious about profit share today. You could be skeptical about it. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with what it is. So I'm moving on to the next slide here. And here we have what is profit share, okay? It's completely, entirely, wholly, absolutely passive income. So when we talk about passive income, and this is when I want you guys to kind of chime in, so feel free to unmute yourself, but who can give me a definition or an example of what's a good example of passive income other than profit share? Anybody?
Stock market.
Rental market. Yes. What else?
Royalties.
Very good. So if you were that's a great point. So if you were, let's say, a musician and you cut an album and they're still playing your, or let's say you like that movie where the guy wrote the Christmas jingle that they all sang, every time they play it, you get a royalty. That's passive income. Great example. Okay. Buying and holding real estate and renting it is passive income. Okay. How is profit share different? Well, there's no financial risk. The owners took the risk when they started the market center right here in East Cobb. There's no legal risk. There's no money that you need to put down in order to gain it. And no phone calls. Well, I wouldn't say no phone calls. We'll talk about that. But there is no financial investment. So how does profit share compare? Well, like we just said, there's no risk, there's no financial down payment. So when Gary Keller created what we now know as the Keller-Williams model, he wanted to reward agents who help the market center to grow. So, so this is, as you read right here, at Keller-Williams, any associate who helps to grow a profitable market center can be rewarded with passive, potentially long-term income. Who benefits from that? Well, your family and your heirs. When you join, and here's the idea, y'all. The idea is not recruiting. The idea is to get into cultivate relationships with other real estate agents. Cultivate relationship with other real estate agents. There was a gal who used to be at Keller-Williams, and she was actually in my Barney Fletcher class. And she came and she did an interview when she was still at Keller-Williams, and they said to her, tell us, birth till now, how did you get into the business, that sort of thing. And she said, before she went into the business, she went to Oklahoma to see her grandparents. Her grandparents had been in real estate for years and years and years. And she said, I asked them, if you could give me one piece of advice before I start my real estate career, what would you share with me? And I was expecting her to come up with like a cliche, like pick up the phone or lead generate, or you know what I mean? And she said, they said, cultivate relationships with other real estate agents. Like, that's not even something that, and at the time I was like scratching my head going, well, what is that all about? But for some reason it stuck with me. So the whole idea here from my perspective is cultivate relationships with agents in your office, and also cultivate them with folks that you come into contact with. When someone decides to join Keller-Williams, they're going to be asked who was most influential in them choosing Keller-Williams, and they name one person once, okay? Who does this benefit? It benefits your loved ones. It benefits the market center. And it really creates a whole environment of caring and sharing ideas. Go to another real estate company. I defy you to go to a traditional real estate company and even hear the word mastermind. It does not exist, y'all. That is a Keller-Williams idea. So there's a huge opportunity here. And here's a question I want to ask you guys. Everybody who's on the call, unmute yourself if you are currently earning profit share. I know Julianne said yes, but unmute yourself and just say, yes, I am, if you are currently receiving profit share.
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Catherine.
Yes, I am.
Awesome, Michelle. Thank you.
Everyone else is so new. I don't think that they have any in their downline yet.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. It's the best time to learn about it. Awesome. So here's the thing. We have what's called the 100% club. What that means is when you earn enough profit share that it covers the $15,000 that you're paying to your market center, you're making, in effect, 100% commission. And when you get to $18,000, and then you're also paying the royalty of being at Keller-Williams. You're basically there and you're earning more in profit share than you are paying in your commission splits, which is insanity, right? It's the, oh gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's the, what is it, unequal, your unfair share. Yeah, it's your unfair share of money, basically. And I think that comes up in a little bit. So that's kind of what it is. So now let's talk about the why, okay? Picture what you can do with additional income. And I encourage you guys, if you've got some paper handy, because we're doing all this virtually, write down a few ideas. What could I do with extra income per month? So for me personally, we have an account set up for my kids. I have 2 school-age boys who go to a private school, and we have an extra account set up where we set aside money every month for tuition for the following year. We just started doing that, so I'm late to the game. But it could be tuition for your children. What are some other ideas that y'all might have as to what let's say you did what I did. Let's say you sponsored 6 productive agents and you started making $10,000, $12,000 a year in passive income. What could an extra $10,000 a year pay for?
Down payment on a investment property.
Ooh, I love that. So reinvest it. Wow. Okay, see, Julianne's at this level. That's awesome. Who else? What else could it be used for?
Charity,
Wow. Like?
like my school in Jamaica.
That is so cool. What's the name of your school in Jamaica?
Catadupa Primary School.
That is awesome. And what would extra money provide for them?
Tablets, because everybody's virtual schooling now. So tablets, and just a backdrop, there are 120 students in that class, and it's very remote. So 120 students in the school, 20 have tablets.
Wow.
So as the past, I get emotional when I talk about that, because that means there are 100 kids without tablets, so they're not virtual learning. So we have an organization that we created about 2 months ago to help out, and we've been able to send tablets back to the school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thank you, Arthrine. Guys, this is why, that's a perfect example of something that you can share with somebody who says, why should I do business with you? Well, here's one reason. My job funds my former school in Jamaica and is going to provide laptops for kids who can't be in person at a class.
Yeah.
So they can learn, so they can move up their ladder, right?
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you, Arthrine. These are great examples, great examples. That's what we call our big why. So let's move to who is in the profit share system. So who do you know that's in your market center that receives profit share distributions? So we've just met some of those folks. Julianne's one, Michelle's one, Arthrine's one, I'm one. And let's talk about growth share real quick. Growth share is residual income that is paid to Keller Williams Associates who help the market centers grow outside of the United States and Canada. So,
Whoa, wait a minute, Clarke. You mean if I get somebody from another country to join Keller Williams, I can make money there too?
yes, which is why we had coffee in Seville, Spain, Julianne. Yes. So I haven't had any success here yet, but if someone joins they can join in Atlanta, Georgia, they can join in Ankara, Turkey. Is that the capital of Turkey, I think? As long as if they name Julianne Rivera and they're in Ankara, Turkey, then Julianne Rivera is going to receive growth share, which is not a portion of profit share. It actually comes from the royalty that's paid through that region. So anywhere in the world, your unfair share, okay? Next, we're gonna talk about how it works. And so an associate joins Keller Williams, names you as their sponsor. In a particular month, they pay company dollar to their market center. So when they have a closing and they pay 30% of their commission to KW Atlanta North, at the end of that month, the owners calculate their profit And on the 21st of the following month, they're going to come up with a unique dollar amount. 50% of that dollar amount is going to go to the person that they named as their sponsor. Okay. If you join Keller Williams prior to April 1st of this year, then you will be vested in the profit share program after 3 years and 1 day. If you joined prior to April 1st of this year. They changed it at Family Reunion. And so if you join Keller Williams after April 1st of this year, then you will vest after 7 years and 1 day. So here's the thing. Julianne joins Keller Williams. She's here for 3 years and 1 day. She leaves to go to she decides to she and her husband buy a place in Costa Rica to sit and hang out and do the whole pura vida thing, right? And so guess what? Anybody that named Julianne as their sponsor who's still producing in Atlanta or anywhere in the world, Julianne will still receive money because she's vested. She will still receive money on the 21st of the month, okay? You're vested after 3 years and 1 day if you joined prior to April 1st. If you joined after that, 7 years and 1 day. You name a beneficiary. We have all named a beneficiary, and it's inheritable to your heirs twice. Okay, that's how it works. Now let's talk about getting purposeful. Okay, they give us an example of Linda McKissick. Linda McKissick is really a Keller Williams icon. Okay, she like Julianne's talking about it taking money and investing it in real property. She and her husband, Jimmy, have a lot of buy and hold. She wrote the book, Hold, okay? So she has lived it. Apart from all of her real estate business, she's an owner in several market centers. She earned, in the most recent last couple, 2-3 years, she and her husband, Jimmy, have earned over $1 million in 1 year just in profit share. Just in profit share. Imagine that, okay? Guess how many people Linda McKissick has in the first rung of her profit share tree? Anybody want to venture a guess?
25.
Say it again.
25.
Great guess, Arthrine. It's
Really? It's what?
30.
Wow. Okay.
She has 30 people in the first rung of her profit share tree. So what she grew wide on the first level of her profit share tree, time has grown deep, if you will. Okay, she's become a 7th level agent and the queen of passive income. Okay. So by the end of this course, you're going to be empowered with your own passive income plan. We will have the knowledge and skills to achieve the following goals. Know the steps to build your passive income. Oops. Have a plan in place to activate your passive income potential. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, y'all. I'm going to share with you how to even look at this. So as I'm sharing my screen, when you go to, I'm going to pull up another window here, and I'm going to go to I'm going to show you how to do this. mykw.kw.com. So when I go here, it's going to bring up my intranet page, right? And this is how you can go to find out more. When you hover over reports, you can check out your profit share. So I click on reports, and this is what it pulls up. And I'm going to show you my profit share trade. This is cool stuff. Mo Anderson says you should have 15 people in the first level of your profit share tree. And if you don't, you're cheating your family. Right, well, this is, I don't know what's happening with reports. Give me,
Takes a while to load sometimes. It will get there eventually.
as we're waiting on that. Oh, is that it?
Clarke, are you going to explain kind of an overview of how it's figured? Or does that not matter?
It's not in, they redid this class and it's not included in this presentation.
That's fine.
Basically, Julianne brings up a great point. So your profit share is divided up in 7 levels, and the percentages, the biggest percentage of the recipient is when someone is when you are in the first level of someone's profit share tree. That on that level, you make 50% of the profit share amount, and then the other 6 levels add up to 50%. And the curious thing about that from a mathematical standpoint is most of these people like Linda McKissick make most of their money on the 6th and 7th levels of their profit share tree, which is kind of crazy. All right, y'all, this is where you go. You go to reports, you hover over profit and growth share, and you can look up your profit share, what your profit share is by month. You can look up your 7-level downline. That's what I'm going to share with y'all today, my 7-level downline. And each of these people on the different levels are numbered. So you'll see that in just a second when this pulls up. But think about it this way. If you were to invest money in the stock market and expect a 5% return, how much would you have to invest in order to make $75,000 if you're getting a 5% return?
Ooh.
$1.5 million.
I was gonna say, it has to be over
invest $1.5 million to get a 75% return annually on, to get a 5% annual return and to get $75,000 per year, you're going to have to invest $1.5 million. All right, here we go, y'all. How cool is this? And there she is, Amanda Fard, number 1, right there. Okay, so we're going to, and so I have Amanda's in the first position in my profit share tree.
Those of you that don't know, Amanda Fard is my daughter, y'all.
Yeah. And so Julianne is in the 2nd level of my profit share tree. Thank you, Julianne. And so, and y'all, this is amazing. So they have, it's just like, look, so there she is at number 2. And so let's look at Julianne's real quick. Julianne's number 2, her husband, she has in her 1st level, 2nd level, sorry, 1st. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the 1st level of your profit share tree. Way to go, Julianne. I love it. So I have, in my 1st level, I'm going to count my number 1s. I already counted the 1st one. There's the 2nd one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple are in this office. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people. Okay. That's, and you get there by going to the intranet and hovering over reports. Okay. So, so that's kind of the beauty is, and here's the thing, I'll be honest with y'all. Some of these 16 people are like not productive. I'm just being honest with you. Okay. And so it is, they say the qualities and the quantity, but you may meet somebody who is so engaging and such an influencer of people that you, like, for example, Aaron Kaufman recruited the person who has recruited more agents than anyone in Keller Williams. So think about that for a second. And by the way, he just bought land in Puerto Rico to build a house. So that's what's possible. And really all you've got to do is focus on it. The idea is to inspire interest. And so we're going to talk about some scripts in just a minute that you can use, but I'm going to tell you a story. Okay. I had a listing back in the day when I was actually, this was back when I was at Keller Williams in Buckhead. And I had a listing in Smyrna, and this was a bungalow. And when I say it was a bungalow, that's a nice term, okay, for what the house really was, okay? It was a three bedroom, 1.5 bath home, okay? So I was working with this awesome agent, non-Keller Williams agent on the other side, and she did a fantastic job. And we all closed and everything went fine. And then I went to go pick up my son in my lockbox after closing at my listing. When I pulled up and I parked my car and I got out to get my yard sign, I saw 2 tire tracks going from the front steps all the way off the grass and the curb at the front yard, like they had backed up a U-Haul and just gunned it leaving. So I was mortified. So I called up my co-op agent and I said, hey, Amanda, this is Clarke. Listen, I'm mortified. I'm over here. You know, they've kind of messed up the yard. I'm going to have somebody come over here and fix this like tomorrow. She says to me, Clarke, that's okay. That's not the worst. That's not the worst of our problems right now. I was like, okay. What are the worst of our problems? And she says, have you been inside the house? And I said, no. She said, it's the filthiest house I've ever seen. And I said, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I will have cleaners over there tomorrow. Like it would have been me and my wife probably over there on our hands and knees scrubbing. But she said, no, we've already worked it out. It's okay. Okay, so most people would think, oh my gosh, I'm going to go dig a hole and climb in it, which is what I wanted to do. And because I saw the drive in this young lady, I went and got a MREA book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And I stalked her, to be honest. I did stalk her and found out where she lived. And I went by her house and I dropped by that and a handwritten note. And when she called me to thank me for it, I said, would you be offended if I introduced you to the team leader at KW Cityside? And she said, no, I would not be offended. And that is how Julianne's here. That's how I got really probably the single biggest earner for me in my profit share tree was through a relationship building experience that could have gone way, way, way bad south. But I chose to come from contribution and to just, you know, make an introduction. So y'all, all you need to do is say, look, it's this simple. Ring, ring. Hey, Michelle, it's Clarke. How are you?
Good, Clarke, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know, I've been telling my team leader in my office what a rock star you are.
Oh, thank you.
So just please, please, please do not be surprised when he gives you a call, okay?
Sounds fine.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for all your hard work and professionalism.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I will look forward to talking to you soon. That's as easy as it is. Please don't be surprised. Don't be shocked when they give you a call because I've been talking about what a rock star you are, okay? Let your team leader and your assistant team leader do the heavy lifting and reel them in. Your job is simply to tee up an introduction and let us, you know, start building a relationship with them, okay? Does that make sense? Yes? Good. Okay, let's talk about how the profit share tree grows. When you joined Keller Williams, you thought of one person who was primarily responsible for you coming to that company, and that person became your sponsor. Your sponsor was asked to name one person responsible for them joining Keller Williams. And that's how your sponsor got a sponsor, etc. And here's how it grows. Currently, the profit share system has 7 levels. So when someone names you as their sponsor, they go into your first level, okay? If someone names one of those people as their sponsor, they go into your second level, okay? And so on. So the idea is to focus on your first level. Now, I'll be honest with you, this says that, and this is where it shows how many people Linda McKissick has in her profit share tree. But she has a massive profit share tree with more than 9,000 associates in it, and only 30 are in her first level. So if you're somebody like Aaron Kaufman, you can sponsor the person who's sponsoring more people than anybody else. So that's how it works. Work on your first level. And then, you know, if somebody in your first level starts recruiting, that's really how it grows really big, okay? And I've been fortunate in that regard. Is it too late to build a large tree? Gary Keller says that the highest profit share earner may not yet be with Keller Williams. So the opportunity is now, okay? Okay, your profit share tree. So basically, build real relationships and refer them to your team leader and assistant team leader. Sorry, I'm giving myself a plug here, me and Michelle. That's it. You're not a recruiter. Your job is to build rapport and just tee up the opportunity. So you relate, okay? What are some ways that we can reach out to agents or maybe people that we feel like would be good in real estate to provide value to them? What are some ways that we can reach out to non-Keller Williams agents or maybe aspiring new agents that have not yet gotten licensed to get into conversation with them and provide value to earn the right to talk about Keller Williams? I love you. I didn't even see your shirt until right now. Oh my gosh, I love that. Awesome, 401kW. That is awesome. I love it, Julian. I'm jealous now. Now I know what I want for Christmas. Sorry, I digress. Y'all unmute yourself. What are ways that we can engage and provide value to non-KW agents?
So I had oh, go ahead, Joseph.
No, go ahead, Julia.
So I had a great opportunity this weekend. An agent posted a brand new listing that one of my clients was interested in. And it said in it, in the directions, to use showing time, only there was no hyperlink to get into showing time to do it. And I knew something was off with it. So I called her and I asked if it was still available. Long story short, I stayed on the phone with her because not only was the button not turned on, but then when I went to go to request it, she had blocked off 2 days in advance because she wanted 24-hour notice, and she'd accidentally done that. And so nobody could schedule for 2 days out. So it was going to really mess up her schedules. She was so appreciative of me taking the time to let her know that. And that, I have a friend now in that agent, and I will definitely use that as an opportunity to talk to her more about KW.
Wonderful. What a simple story. I love that. Joseph, how about you?
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback, basically the same thing, like help walk through certain maybe hiccups or stumbling blocks that an agent may have and help that's a way to get it going.
That's so simple. I love it. It's, you know, being the best agent in the transaction, right? And not, and humble at the same time, right? Not like I'm the, you know what I mean? Being the best agent, the one that writes the clean contract, you know, the one that does the grunt work maybe, or offers, right? That's great. How about when we have, let's say, inviting them to take bold? How about when we have somebody like Bob Kalinsky or Kay Evans, or an event in our region? What about a business planning event, y'all? I mean, how many, let's just be real, non-Keller Williams agents, how many have a business plan for next year? Not many. I mean, some do, most do not. I talked to somebody the other day, they said, I just want to do more than I did last year. You know, well, without a destination, any road's going to get you there, right? So invite them to a business planning event, right? Invite them to meet with Michelle to come up with, here's a way, oh, y'all are gonna love this. Okay, so this is what I'm doing right now. I haven't shared this with Michelle yet. So this is how I'm inspiring interest. So let's say, Julianne, you're a non-Keller Williams agent, okay?
Right.
So Julianne, thanks for taking time to just meet with me real briefly this morning. As I mentioned, what I'd really like to do is share with you how we're getting our agents to their next level of productivity, whatever that level happens to be.
Yeah.
Here's how we're, and then eventually earn the right to share with you about Keller Williams. Is that okay with you?
I'm pretty happy where I am. You understand that, right, Clarke?
I totally understand it. And here's the thing, Julianne, it's kind of like, you know, think about back in high school, you know, there was that one girl that I, you know, really had the hots for, but she was dating another guy. And, you know, I didn't go up to her and ask her out on a date when she was, you know, going with another guy, right? I did, you know, become friends with her and, you know, waited for her to break up with the other guy. And then I went in, you know, then I stepped in. That's how I approach this. I'm really not looking to be your number one broker. I want to be your number two broker. So that in the event that something happens with your current broker, I'd like to be the first call that you make.
All right, that makes sense.
Fantastic. So here's what we're doing for our agents right now, okay? This is super simple. This is to double your business in 14 months, okay?
Okay.
Month one, and I'll have more, I don't have it here for y'all to look at, but I'll have a chart that I show them. And I say month one, you're gonna call 40 people in your sphere of influence. You're gonna pick up the phone and you're gonna call 40 people per month. You're gonna do this 5 times per week, and you're gonna call 2 people per day. Can you do that?
2 people per day? Yeah,
Like without even thinking about it, right?
absolutely.
Easy, right? Okay, that's month one. Month two, you're gonna call 40 new people in your sphere of influence. It's gonna be a real estate related phone call. This might be what it looks like. Ring, ring. Hey, Julianne, it's Clarke Davie with KW. Hey, listen, I'm calling with my business hat on today. I wanted to share with all my top clients and people who have supported me in my business that we have an awesome, unique and exclusive relationship with Keller Mortgage. We're able to save people up to $20,000 on their closing costs for their refinances or for somebody who's looking to purchase a home. Yeah, who do you know that I need to call today?
Cool.
That's one type of phone call that you can make, okay? So month one, you call 40, 2 per day. Month two, you call 2 per day, and you're texting a real estate related text to the 40 people you called in month one. So every day, Julianne, you're calling 2 and texting 2. Like you can do that, right?
Yep.
And it's a real estate related text. Here's a possibility of what you can say. Julianne, hey, it's Clarke Davie. I wanted to let you know I met a fantastic landscaper over the weekend. He does a great job aerating lawns. If you'd like his information, give me a call and I'll give you his, and I'll tell you who to contact.
Cool.
Okay. Month 3, you're calling 40 new people, 2 per day. You're texting everybody you called in month 2, 2 per day. And you're going to ping over social media the 40 that you spoke to in month 1. And we're going to do this month after month, month after month, 2 calls, 2 texts, 2 social media pings. And simultaneously, you're going to be hosting an open house every weekend. Okay?
Okay.
And as you do this consistently, your business is going to blow up.
I hope everybody's writing this down. Notes for all you new agents. This is a plan that you should be putting into place. I love it.
Your business is going to blow up. You're going to need help with your business because it's blowing up. That's not a problem. That's an expense. Okay. I don't want to give you guys any problems, but I'm happy to give you expenses. Okay. That could be a contract to close person. That could be a full-time administrative assistant. It can be a showing assistant, but your business is going to blow up. And then really, because here's the truth, you don't need more training. Okay. Most agents don't need more training. Most agents need business consulting, a plan, and
Amen.
fierce accountability.
Amen.
Fierce accountability. So Julianne, that's how we're providing value to our agents right now. Out of curiosity, are you receiving anything similar where you're working right now?
No, I'm on my own. I have, I have agents. I have my broker that I could call if I have a problem, but no, nothing like this. This is a great idea.
So let's do this. I would love to just make an introduction to my team leader and let him know that what an awesome person you are. So are you okay if I give him a call and give him your name?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere right now, but yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I'll have him give you a call this week.
Okay.
That's what we want to do. Relate to them, y'all. Relate. Build rapport. Okay, we're going to move on. Thank you for giving me that all those awesome objections, Julian. Picture your profit tree growing. All right, this is where we're going to come up with really get you guys to think. Who can you? It can be one person. It can be 5 people. But start with 1. Who do you know? It doesn't have to be somebody that you were necessarily co-opted on a deal with. There's somebody that lives in Marietta that I have stuck on Jim Alexander's radar for, I'm not kidding, probably going on 3 years. She was a spin instructor, a softball instructor, and she was like hardcore. She was like the Kate Podolsky of spin instructors. Like she was hardcore. Young lady. Like she would be phenomenal. She's still on a drip campaign with me. I still call her. She probably thinks I'm a stalker. Her husband probably wants to call the police.
So she's not an agent right now.
She's not an agent right now, but she's been on my radar for probably going on 3 years. Like I can see her having just a crazy big business, big life. She was working for a nonprofit that I'm not sure what happened to it before COVID came, and she's not doing that anymore. And so, yeah, she's on my radar. Pick somebody that you think would either be great in real estate, or maybe it's somebody that you haven't worked with yet in real estate, but they have a great reputation, and just write their name down and then start thinking about how you're going to engage with them. It may be you go show one of their listings. It may be that you preview one of their properties on Caravan. It may be that you invite them to a business planning clinic. It may be that you just simply invite them to coffee, okay? And it's my favorite bold law is people grow into the conversations that you and I create around them. Does that make sense?
How about the people, if you went to school with people for real estate school. You can contact them
Oh,
now and just see
That's
how
a
they're
great
doing.
idea. Anybody that you went to pre-licensed school with, maybe you met at a cram course, that would be a perfect person to tee up in the first level of your profit share tree. Talk to Michelle Byers and Julianne and Arthrine about that. Where might you find these people? You might find them from your pre-license class. You could find them anywhere, really, anywhere. And here's another thing, y'all, is that during this COVID time, people are making career transitions. I talked to a lady on my way here this morning who said, I'm a dental hygienist and so many things have changed. And basically she's just tired of sticking her hands in people's mouths, you know, and she wants to do real estate. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. You know, you'll find them anywhere. All right. So you start the conversation. You set up a time to meet. You look for opportunities to help. So you're coming from contribution and you refer them to Michelle or Jim. Okay. My thing was to my co-op agent was I'm going to take a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent to this great agent and I'm going to write a handwritten note. Why do we write handwritten notes, y'all?
It's more personable.
It's personable.
Personable, good. Why else?
It seems very genuine that someone's taking the time out to write you a note, as opposed to, it seems original, as opposed to somebing typing something out and sending a general email.
I love it. So Joseph, the word that jumped out to me when with what you just said was original. Nobody else is doing it. Y'all, nobody else is doing it. Choose to do the one thing nobody else is doing. Okay? And I promise you it'll come back to you in spades. All right, so share a real compliment. Ask them for their input or expertise. That's a great way. You know, hey, I need help pricing this home. Could you come over and give me a price opinion? Okay. Set up a time to meet. My favorite script is, hey, you know what? This is the one I used with Michelle. Hey, you know what, Michelle? I told my team leader what a rock star you are. So please, please, please do not be surprised when he gives you a call, okay? Fair enough? There's my tie down. Fair enough? And she's nodding and smiling. All right. Cool. Okay, so this has you actually calling the people that you wrote down. So y'all, we're not going to do this exercise right now. We don't have the time, but think of just become intentional about it. And think about people that you know that would be great at Keller Williams and make an introduction, okay? Look for opportunities to help. And come from contribution. These are so many things that we can use to come from contribution. You know, they have a 411 worksheet. I know for a fact that Julianne and Michelle would sit down and do either a 411 or a 135 with an agent that is from another real estate company. You could give them the one thing. You can give them a non-Keller Williams book. Like, let's say you go onto their Facebook page and you know that their, you know, the book I'm reading right now is Thinking in Bets. It was recommended during Mega Camp, and it's written by a lady who was a professional gambler. You know, just come from contribution, give them, as Brian Buffini says, we give first. We give, then we ask, then we receive. Give, ask, receive, okay? We refer them to the team leader. You know what? I love doing transactions with you. You are awesome. I told my team leader just the other day how great you are. He's gonna be calling you to thank you for the way you do business. Will you promise me you'll take his call? Now see, I wouldn't say it like that. Maybe y'all will, but I would just say, hey, look, y'all, don't be surprised. my team leader could tell you more about that. I'll have him call and follow up with you.
So Clarke, when we're
Yep.
thinking about that, I mean, a lot of these people on are newer agents and are just getting into their first few transactions. So it's easy to get focused on just our client, and this helps us to think bigger picture, and also how we're interacting with the other agent, because we're not adversaries. We're working together to make this deal close. But I think it does change your perspective. And when I'm working with a client or an agent, I think to myself, would they be in culture with KW? And if they are, then that's in the forefront of my mind, is to be thinking about how I can keep that relationship going, because they would be a good asset to KW.
I think that's a great plan. Yes, if they are somebody that you enjoy working with, then they're probably going to be a good fit at your office. And it goes back to what Joseph said, which is basically be the best agent. You know, be the best agent in the transaction. Good points. We never say anything negative about somebody else's company. We never say anything negative about somebody else's broker, no matter what they might be experiencing.
So I'm curious, Clarke, I bet there's agents out there that are thinking to themselves, well, this sounds great, but it sounds like a pyramid to me, a pyramid scheme. So I don't know if I want to mess with it. Can you explain the difference between profit share and a pyramid?
So a pyramid scheme has no end. So profit share is multi-level marketing in the sense that there are 7 levels. A scheme where somebody, says, hey, if you give me money, then I'm gonna get more people to give you, that basically is like a Bernie Madoff scheme. There's no end to it. All 7 levels add up to 100, and it stops after 7 levels. So all I can share with you is this. It may not seem real to you, but the $19,700 that I made last year without lifting a finger actually was real money for me. And here's the thing. I find, Julianne, this question is extremely powerful. You can even pose it to a Keller Williams agent. And that's this question. Let me ask you this. What's your exit strategy out of the business? And then shut up, because my inclination is to fill the void, fill the silence with, something, but just what's your exit strategy? And then you can share with them yours. Okay. All right.
Now, I do have one quick question that
Yes.
they would be asking. So if it's 7 levels, let's say somebody that's in your level 2 or 3 drops out of the business, does that mean that everything below it is gone, or do they move up?
Great question, Julianne. Everybody moves up. So let's say Julianne were to get out of Keller Williams and out of the business. If she's vested, she stays she remains where she is. If somebody leaves before they're vested, then everyone moves up 1 level. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, a final thought on passive income. Picture what you can do for someone in need. Profit share is a gift that can make fulfilling opportunities possible in your life and in the lives of your loved ones, okay? And here's some other thoughts about what it can do for you and your family. And then this is what we covered. We covered what is profit share, right? We talked about that. We talked about how it works. We talked about developing a purposeful plan for your passive income. We talked about how it grows. Julianne's a perfect example of how mine has grown. Perfect living, breathing example. And we talked about building your passive income plan. So I guess the last question is, are you motivated to grow your profit share tree? So questions and takeaways, ahas from today's conversation.
Now is your time to unmute and chat.
Any ahas, Michelle?
I did. I wrote down some things. I love, you reminded me of the exit strategy, which we don't think about. We're so focused on the now that we don't focus on the later. And I like that you brought up to cultivate the relationships, not only with KW agents, but with other agents. I always say be an agent's agent, and that is going to help you build your downline because they're going to hold you in high esteem with Keller Williams versus maybe what they're experiencing out there in the market.
I love it. I love it. Cultivate relationships with other agents. Who else?
Come on,
I
y'all.
do have a question.
Yeah, go for it, Joseph.
Is this profit sharing? Is this something that is common in the real estate industry? Is it something that's done at different brokerage firms, or is Keller Williams has like sole possession of this idea?
Okay, you're breaking up just a little bit, Joseph, but I heard the first part to that, which is it is unique to Keller Williams. It is not common. It is extremely uncommon, and yet it's popular enough now that there are other companies that are mimicking it. For example, there's a company out there called EXP that has something called revenue sharing, which is different. And so it's great. The ultimate compliment is to be copied, right? So, but the short answer is it's highly unusual. And apart from that one other company that has a quasi-similar offering, there are no others that offer that. And here's the other part that I'll just add to that, Joseph, is those other companies are all publicly held, with the exception of one, Compass, that's owned by, what do you call them, those, the word, make all that money. Investors, but hedge fund companies. They're owned by hedge fund companies. All the other companies out there are corporate owned and have to answer to stockholders, whereas we're privately owned and we are agent centric. So that's why we share profit.
And a nice behind the scenes tidbit for all of you, Command and the artificial intelligence that we have in Command is all as a result of our profit share, because they had to be tracking everything that we were doing for so many years. So as a result of that information, we had data that no other company has, and it's put us ahead of the mark in technology, which is really cool.
That is awesome. Anybody else have an aha they want to share? Well, you guys, I'm just going to encourage you to, get into relationship with other agents, the right ones. Not everybody's a culture fit. So, but just come from contribution, be the best agent in the transaction, and then tee up opportunities for your assistant team leader and your team leader.
Great. Clarke, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much. I know you're passionate about this, and we really appreciate the information and your time today. So I hope you all took good notes. This will be recorded and it will be put in our YouTube channel, quantrain.com. And I will see you guys at 12:30 for our PC resource to talk about some things. So thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you all. Thanks, Julianne.
Take care.
Thank you.